Some say Chinese is one of the most difficult languages in the world, and learning it is almost impossible.
So learning Chinese, the most difficult thing.
非常非常非常非常非常难
So I'm sort of tone deaf. I can't really hear them.
I think the cultural mindset is the biggest complication for
The
us.
grammar.
知吃思吃都还难
It's just complicated so much.
Only because you're not learning it in the right way. Why not try Takeaway Chinese, where you can take some Chinese away and experience progress day by day. Takeaway Chinese, we will promise you a difference.
你好，欢迎收听随行汉语 Welcome to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei, and joining me today is Tony, read as usual. Hello, Tony.
Hey, Fei, what is cracking? Pleasure to be on the show. Pleasure to learn some new words today.
Yeah, so Tony, do you know how to say help in Chinese?
I think bang or like 你可以帮我吗? It's like,
No,
can
I'm-
you help me, right?
I'm sort of like crying out loud for help. Like,
Oh,
help,
this
help.
help.
Yeah.
So it's different.
It's different.
Nope, I have no idea.
It's actually, well, of course, help means 帮忙 in Chinese, but in case of emergency, you can, when you crying out loud, shouting help, it means 救命.
救命.
救命 means save life.
Save life.
Yes.
Save my life.
Yeah. 救命, and which in English is help.
救命.
救命. But I think more importantly, apart from learning how to say 救命 or help in Chinese, it's also important to know how to ask for professional help when you're in emergency, and especially when you are in a place that speaks another language. And so that's why I think for our listeners out there, first of all, don't panic. And then stick with us for 30 minutes and you will know how to deal with an emergency in Chinese.
Hopefully. All right.
你怎么花了这么长时间？我已经等你半小时了。
你根本想象不到我刚才经历了什么，我被困在电梯里了。
天哪，你没事吧？你怎么出来的？
我当时真的吓死了，然后打了119电话求助。好在5分钟后，消防员们就赶到了现场，把我救了出去。
So, Tony, what do you think of the dialogue?
Well, I think that this is an emergency that I hope I never have to deal with, but pretty interesting stuff. I think there's some vocab there that I can take away.
Yeah, definitely. So first sentence, 你怎么花了这么长时间?
So this is what took you so long, yeah? So 你怎么, so 你 is you, and then 怎么 is kind of like how, right?
Yeah.
And then 花了, so 花 means to like spend? Or,
Yeah, spend.
So spent, la in the kind of the past tense. And then 这么, I think this is like this, or some type of...
or such.
Or such. Oh, okay. And then we have 长, this is long, and then 时间 is time, right?
Yeah. And then 我已经等你半小时了.
So this is, I've been waiting for you for half an hour. So this person's very impatient. So 我 is I, 已经, this is already. And then 等你, so 等 is wait, 你 is you. And then 半, this is like half, right?
Yes.
And then 小时.
小时.
小时, this is a new one for me. I think this is hour, right?
Yes, so 半小时 is half an hour.
Okay. Is there a different way to say hour? 点?
点 is like a clock. 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
三点.
三点,
But it's
四点.
different from hour. It was like 3 hours. 三小时.
三小时. Okay.
Yes.
You don't think there's no quantity word in there? Like 三个小时?
Yeah, of course. You can also have the measure word in between, like 三个小时. It also makes sense. But 三小时, it also makes sense.
Okay.
And especially for beginners, I think measure words can be really confusing for them.
Oh, yeah.
Which one to use in what way,
Right.
and 3小时 is easier way in this case.
Sounds good.
你根本想象不到我刚才经历了什么。Ooh, it's a tricky one over there.
Yeah. This is, you wouldn't believe what I've been through. Wow, that's a long sentence to just say that. 你 is you. 根本, right?
Yes.
This is like totally.
Yeah.
And then 想象.
想象 I know you would be struggling with this one.
Well, 想 means to like think, right? And so I think if it's said twice, then maybe it's related to like your feeling or...
No, but in this word, the tones are very different. 想, the third tone. 象, the fourth tone. 想象, which is imagine.
Imagine. Okay. And then 不到, I think this is the not. And then 我刚才.
Yes.
So 刚才 is like just now. And then 经历 is like experience or something that happened, right?
Yes.
And then 了什么. So 什么 is what? So pretty much something that just happened. 刚才.
Just now. Yeah.
Just now.
And here we have a word called 根本你根本想象不到 And here 根本, even though in translation it means completely, but for 根本, most of the cases that it follows with a not phrase or sentence to emphasize the not content there.
Okay.
It's like you completely can't imagine what have been through
so it's
just
like an
now.
amplifier, like absolutely
Yes,
or something like that.
yes, literally, totally, something like that.
Okay.
我被困在电梯里了。
I was trapped in an elevator, yeah?
So,
was I, and then 被困?
被困
So 被 is, I think this is, well, 困 means to be stranded or trapped, right?
Yes.
So
被困 被 is the passive voice. It was trapped.
okay. So 被困在, I think this is denoting like location or
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then 电梯 is elevator.
Yes. 电梯
Right? And then 里, I think that's inside. And then 了 means like it happened.
Yeah, I was trapped in an elevator. Oh, well, but in Chinese, 电梯 can be refers to both an elevator or a lift. It's the same in Chinese. They are all called 电梯.
Okay.
Yeah, trapped in an elevator or lift is something, yeah, I can't even imagine. 我想象不到。天哪，你没事吧？
So this is like, I think there's like quite a few expressions for 天哪. It could be like, oh heavens, or oh my goodness, or,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
So it's an expression of surprise, and then are you all right? So 天哪, so 天 means like heavens.
Yes,
Right?
yeah.
So 天哪 is kind of like, oh my goodness. And then 你 is you, 没事吧? So 没事 is normally like okay or all right. Or,
Yeah. Are you all right? There is nothing happening to you. 你没事吧？你怎么出来的？
So this is, how did you get out of there? So 你 is you. 怎么 is how. 出来, is this like go and come at the same time put together?
出 is out. 出来 is sort of get out or go out.
Okay. All right. So yeah, how did you get out?
我当时真的吓死了，然后打了119电话求助。
So this is, I literally freaked out and then dialed 119 for help. So was, of course, I 当时, I believe that's at that time.
Yes.
And then 真的, I think that's really. And then 吓死了, right?
吓死了。
吓死了. So I think this is like to be freaking out or to be really scared, right? And then 然后 is then 打了. So I think that's like to make a call or
dial or call someone.
119. I think that's kind of like the numbers for 119, right?
Yeah.
The colloquial way.
Mm-hmm.
And then 电话 is like a phone call or number. Is it number or phone call?
It's phone call.
It's phone call, okay. And then 求助. I think that's like seeking or looking for help.
Yes. And I think the way of saying 119 is very interesting in Chinese because normally 1 is 一.
Right.
So normally it's supposed to be 119. But in colloquial Chinese, somehow no one says 119. When saying the number for fire and rescue, it's 119. And that is a useful telephone number I think a lot of people needs to keep in mind, especially when they're in China, because it's the number you are going to need in basically all of your emergencies. Trapped in an elevator, I remember someone would call 119 if they left their keys at home, and they also call 119 for help.
They left their keys at home. That's not an emergency.
But in China, people dial this number in all cases of an emergency and cases for help. They were called firefighters.
That's like in the U.S., if you call or 911 for a trivial matter, then it's actually a criminal charge. You can get into trouble. So just locking your keys inside, that's
But I think right now less people are doing that. Now I think more people are having this awareness that they want to save the resources for definitely real and life-saving emergencies like a real
most
fire.
doors don't use keys anymore. There's codes on the door, so that might have helped.
And that's also why November the 9th is the National Fire Prevention Day here in China. It's a day to educate and publicize all the necessary information knowledge people need to know about keeping them safe from fire. And so maybe that's also a way of helping you to remember 119 for firefighters and rescue efforts. 好在5分钟后消防员们就赶到了现场，把我救了出去。
So this is fortunately, the firefighters arrived at the scene 5 minutes later and got me out of there. So 好在, I think this is the fortunately, right? 5分钟后. So 5 means 5, 分钟, I think those minutes, right?
Yes.
And then 后, I think that's after. Okay, so after 5 minutes. 消防员.
消防员.
I think these are the firefighters. And then 们, I think this is like a plural of the firefighters, right?
Yes, it indicates
kind of like 我们 is we, 他们 is they. So the 们 indicates that there's plural.
There's more than one 消防员.
Okay. So 消防员们, the firefighters, 就赶到了.
赶到了.
赶, so 赶 is hurry, right? And 就 is kind of like only. And then 到了, I think, isn't that like arrive? Or,
yeah.
Okay. And then 现场, and I think this is scene, right?
Yes.
So they quickly arrived on the scene. And then 把我救了. So 把, I think this is, I'm not really sure what that is.
Well, it's sort of like a compound phrase that 把 and 救了, the verb behind the pronoun 我 indicates the action here. It's like 把 somebody and the action happened.
Okay.
So in this case, 把我救了出去. It got me out of there.
It's funny, like 救 earlier means only, and then here 救 means rescue.
Well, but it's written differently. If you look at the characters, they're
the
differently.
pronunciation is the same.
Yes, as we just talked about in the beginning of the show, 救命 and help. In that case, that 救 is this one, 把 把我救了出去. They share the same 救 here, means rescue or save.
Okay. So yeah, 出去, right?
出去.
So this means to get out.
Yes.
Interesting. Isn't there a different way to say get out as well?
Get out, 出来. Well, but
出来, right.
But 出去 and 出来 has like a small differences. For
Okay.
example, we're in this room at the moment, and you went out of the room is 出去.
出去, right.
Yes. But if another person is standing outside of the room, and they saw you coming out of this room, so you are sort of going to their direction, is from their point of view, from the one who is standing outside of this room, it's 出来. It means
Okay.
you are going out to them. So there is a really, really small differences between 出去 and 出来.
Okay, because yeah, 来 just means come. So
Yes.
I'm thinking, yeah, it must be relative to who's saying it.
Yes, it's like the easier example would be if I'm getting really angry at you right now and I tell you to go out of here,
Get
which
out.
is 出去. But it's like if I'm standing outside of this studio and I want to use this studio, but you are inside, I will tell you to 出来, to come out, so that I can come in and use the studio. So maybe that's an easier way of differentiate between 出来 and 出去.
Okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
So, do you have more questions about this dialogue, or do you want to give it a try?
Yeah, let's give it a go. 你怎么花了这么长时间？我已经等你半小时了。
你根本想象不到我刚才经历了什么。我被困在电梯里了。
天哪，你没事吧？你怎么出来的？
我当时真的吓死了，然后打了119电话求助。好在5分钟后，消防员们就赶到了现场，把我救了出去。You're listening to Takeaway Chinese with myself, Fei Fei and Tony Reid. We would love to hear from you. Send us your thoughts via email to learnchinese@cri.com.cn. And for more fun Chinese learning, you can also follow us on Facebook by searching Learn Chinese to watch many fun videos and live streams. And coming up next, let's learn how to deal with emergencies. 遇到紧急情况怎么办呢? Don't go away, so you will take some Chinese away. Welcome back to Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei and joined by Tony. So Tony, we went through a dialogue about seeking help when the person was trapped in an elevator.
Right.
Yeah, and there is a couple of things I think will be very useful and interesting to use in your daily conversations.
Okay.
Yes, and I think my first takeaway here is with the last sentence. 我当时真的吓死了。
吓死了。
吓死了。
吓死. What is that again?
Meaning I'm literally freaked out.
Yeah, okay, got it.
But if you look at the Chinese characters, 吓死了,死了 here, it actually means I'm scared to death. 死 means die or death.
Okay.
So it's like I'm scared to death is a very colloquial way of expressing your emotions in any daily conversations. 我饿死了, I'm starved to death. Or I'm 累死了, I'm tired to death.
Oh, so if you put the s after some adjective,
Yes.
then it gives it amplifies it.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's like 吓死了, scared to death.
So can we use 非常 or we don't need to use 非常?
We don't really use 非常 because the 死了 here is amplifying the emotion enough.
Okay, so 我累死了.
Yeah, I'm exhausted. And I think a lot of young Chinese right now love this expression. It's like 我累死了, I'm exhausted. 我饿死了, I'm starving.
我困死了.
Yeah, I'm so tired in English, right?
Right.
But
right.
困 in Chinese specifically meaning you want to sleep.
Right.
That really sleepy. Yeah. 困死了.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. So I think this one, you can use it to your friends, your family.
So informally.
Yeah, but I won't recommend you to use it to your supervisors or in any formal settings because it's not really considered polite to use 死了 in front of your supervisors.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I would recommend you to use it among
It
friends.
means they're working you too hard, huh?
Yeah.
It's your fault.
Like whining
I'm so
about
tired.
yeah. And yeah, the other one is about the number, I think, that in China, the emergency numbers are very, very different. Well, every country is different when it comes to emergency numbers.
Right.
Yeah, and in the US, people will dial
911.
yeah for any kind of emergency, right? Like medical or
Medical emergency if someone's broken into your home. So for criminal reasons or for emergencies of some sort.
But here in China, we have like 3 different lines that you can seek your help. Of course, we have the 119,
119,
which is for fire and rescue. And we also have 110. Have you heard of 110?
Ling is another way of saying 0, right?
Yes.
Okay.
110, 110.
What is that for?
For emergency for police officers.
Okay.
Like someone broke into your house or you're very concerned about your safety, you can dial 110.
Okay.
And another line is 120.
120, so 120.
Yeah, have you heard of this one before?
Nope.
Really?
No.
It's for medical emergencies.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
this is
very
kind of
important.
important.
Yeah. So 120 is the number that you can dial in every places in China when you will run into medical emergencies.
Okay.
Yeah. So 3 numbers, 119.
119, 119. That's
119.
for fire.
Yes. And 110.
110, I think that's for the police. Okay.
And then 120.
120, I think that's for medical.
Yes, for doctors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
But apart from knowing like important emergency numbers, what would you recommend travelers and people out there to prepare themselves for emergencies when traveling especially?
I think probably having some kind of insurance would help.
No, yeah. 买保险.
my 保险.
Yeah, buy some insurance. Most of the time, travel insurances.
Yeah.
旅游保险.
So 保险 is insurance.
Yes.
And then 买 means to buy.
Yeah.
有 means to have.
旅游保险, travel emergencies.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And then, of course, knowing important phone numbers like 119, 110, 120, which is 紧急电话. Well, I think on the mobile phones, they will have this emergency calls, sometimes in different languages.
Yeah.
And in
true.
Chinese, it's 紧急电话.
紧急电话?
Yes, 紧急 is emergency. 电话, of course,
Right.
telephone.
紧急电话. All right.
And then when you are buying and signing up insurances, they will also ask you for an emergency contact.
Oh, right.
Right?
Right.
And who would you put into your emergency contact now?
Emergency contact. I don't know. I don't think I'll have anybody there. Emergency. So 紧急
紧急
经纪人. How do you say that?
紧急联系人. 联系 is like contact.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you have to put a 人 in the end, which contact person.
Right.
So 紧急联系人 is your emergency contact.
联系人. Okay. So many vocabulary words.
But like in Chinese, basically having emergency 紧急 in front of the phrases and words is indicating that it is for emergency here. 紧急电话.
紧急电话, so emergency number.
Yeah, 紧急联系人.
Contact person.
Yeah, and also I think one of the most useful phrase is to asking for help.
Okay.
Which is, do you remember? We talked about that in the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I know. I forgot already.
When you are yelling help as 救命.
救命.
Yeah.
Is it Ming with a G or Min, M-I-N?
With a G.
Okay.
救命.
救命.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is basically yelling for help in all kinds of emergencies.
It would be easier if it was like a one-syllable word. Like help, right?
Yeah, it's not
but
that.
救命, 救命. It's a two-syllable word.
Yeah.
But, okay.
But that's how to yell for help in Chinese.
Okay.
And I think knowing this language, the local language, is definitely essential to deal with emergencies when traveling in general, right?
Absolutely.
And that brings us to the end of today's Takeaway Chinese. I'm Fei Fei with Tony Reid here in the studio. For more episodes of the show, you can visit our website at radio.cgtn.com and go to the column Shows and Podcasts. You can listen to the show and read the script there.
Find us wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple, Google, Stitcher, and much more. Just search for Takeaway Chinese. If you like us, please leave us a rating and follow the show.
And we'll see you in the next one.
再见.